All right.
What you got over there, Lizzie? What sandwich you eating today?
Hey there. So we went with Snarf's, a local Colorado favorite.
Yeah.
I think they've expanded outside of Colorado, but they are near and dear to many who live here. They're putting up a bunch more locations, which is fantastic.
They're near and dear to our tummies.
Yes, they're so
taste
good,
buds.
deliciously toasted, and I went with the turkey and Swiss. It's very popular, classic turkey Swiss. If you get all the fixins at Snarf's, it's mayo, mustard, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, hot pepper, seasoning, and some oil. And then, like I said, they toast it, perfectly toasted, just a little bit to cut the roof of your mouth, but not too bad, but enough to make you remember it, which is delicious.
Delicious.
All right.
Yeah, I went, as no surprise, with the veggie route. I went artichoke, feta, and provolone.
Definitely want a bite.
Yeah, tomatoes, all the fixings on it as well. Super, super pumped about that. And then today, we decided to pair these Sammies with a beer we talked about a while back, the Backacre Beer Maker Golden Sour Ale. We went with the sandwich because because it's like kind of spring. Like we really want it to be spring, but it's still a little bit of a heavier meal because it is still winter and cold. Ergo, I had to go put a sweatshirt on. I threw in a pickle because I just love a pickle and sandwich. So here is what we're pairing this with today. I'm very, very excited about this beer. Liz is going to get it cracked open. Backacre Beer Maker makes one beer a year, which is really, really cool. They brew it out of beer stem, and they blend it with some of their previous different batches that they've brewed. So it's going to be a golden sour ale, as we discussed. It's been barrel aging for over a year. It's been bottle conditioned exclusively, and it is a mix of multiple blends, and they're expecting to really come up with a earthy, tart, and fruity notes out of it. So we're pretty pumped. The guy we got it from said that when the Westward article came out, it sold super, super quick. Put it in the background. It smells super fruity.
And earthy.
Also immediately making me drool.
Mm-hmm.
A little cheers,
Yum.
because yum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice and light.
Great fruity undertones, nice and light, great effervescence.
I get the earthy on the kind of the finished flavor on the breathe out of it.
Yeah.
A lot of the more wild fermented type of sours going on in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways,
Earthiness is really subtle. Delicious.
but I think it hits like the outside of my tongue a little bit more. The sour also does, but like I'm getting more of that earthy on the back of my tongue versus the tart on the front.
So we wanted to do this, not one because we're really excited about it, we had already talked about it, but also because the sour golden ale is kind of similar to a champagne, which sets us up for success in the pairing world.
Yeah.
The light body, the dryness, the sour, the effervescence. It's just a really nice combination to highlight our food.
Yeah. What highlights are you looking forward to the most? That list you're hoping to get out of your Sammy and beer pairing here.
Right. So I'm expecting with the tangy sourness contrasting with like the savory of the turkey and the creaminess of the cheese. I'm also looking for the acidity to cut that richness as well of the savory, creamy, and even probably like the mayonnaise that's on the sandwich.
Okay.
And then I'm also like lastly looking for that kind of ending balance of complementing the seasonings and the rest of the condiments to kind of just complement the overall meal, right? Like a nice little balance of it kind of cuts, it complements, it contrasts all at once, which is nice with the sour gold. And this one, it obviously is, it's not obviously, but it isn't too heavy at all. So I'm really excited to get into it.
Yeah, I think the lightness is going to help kind of bring out the spring flavors we're hoping out of the sandwich.
Yep.
The artichoke is what I'm pretty excited for. This little bit of the complementary flavors, a little bit of the tangy from there. Tangy should go really well with the spirit and the earthiness, right? For the contrast, we've got all the different cheeses. You got the mayonnaise, you got the salty. hoping that'll kind of help, as you're saying, contrast those out a little bit. And then the bread should also help with the complementary. I threw in the pickles. I did everything on it, so I got lots of pickles. I'm going with the sour on sour action.
Yeah, I think
which
it's great.
just goes
Tangy
together
and
well.
sour is so good.
Just gonna keep going together well. So
Lastly, also brought in some classic Lay's chips as kind of like an extra like balance if I kind of want to start over on my flavor experience.
it's a good refresh of the palate.
Yeah, it'll be a little greasy, but that sour is going to come right in and cut it down. So it'll be fun.
Cool. Well, let's
All
dig
right,
in.
Let's do it. That's my first bite and sip. Oh, wow. Like the fruity and the earthy undertones are just, with the spicy peppers, are really big on my
Nice.
palate right now.
Okay.
It's really nice.
The first I was getting not as much of the peppers as the artichoke. Getting a lot of that.
yeah.
The tang of the artichoke.
Yeah. Excuse me. I have to eat my sandwich like a lady.
I disagree.
The oregano is really noticeable in the seasoning. The thing about it is, like,
The oregano with this is really good.
really good. It's big. Like, it's making me drool. Like, acid loves acid, and I am just drooling over here. So, sadly, if you're a big lettuce and tomato fan, you don't really notice them. They're really just filler. They make the sandwich look more full. My opinion, of course, somebody may feel a little bit different, but it's really, right now, it's like an Italian factory in my mouth. It's super earthy, it's super oregano, and maybe there was just a lot of seasoning on that particular bite, but
And the bread in it. Like, I went with the wheat bread.
white, I
extra-
forgot to say that.
Yeah, graininess of the wheat bread. Because it's like such a kind of a bigger, heavier flavor. This is just cutting it and making it really bright and light. This is fantastic together. It's like a bite, eat kind of thing.
I definitely like, I think it's definitely hitting that complementary or contrasting where the acidity is really cutting the mayonnaise, right? It's not too much.
Yeah. I'm just going
yeah.
to get with a bigger pour here because this
yeah.
is
I like it.
scrumptious. Try the chip. I haven't gotten that chip action yet. I'm getting less of the spicy pepper, but I eat a lot of spicy food, so sometimes I'm a little unsensitive to it.
Fair. Really, what I really like about this is it's just a different way to enjoy food. This is just food porn at its best. Food and beer porn.
In my mouth. Oh, I got pepper on that one.
It's so much fun. Like, sure, like, you eat to eat, you eat to have a conversation or pass the time, and
You're right, the pepper with that is so good. Wow, that was a delicious bite.
like, I also, I like to eat to, like, really experience the flavor profiles of each.
I actually think the mayonnaise for me is kind of like bringing it all together. And then the beer is kind of like swishing it away a little bit.
More cutting. Cleansing it a bit. Oh, there's a big bite of onion. We'll see what it does with that.
Wonders. Dig in the feta.
Yeah, the tang on tang is really good. Less exotic as the savory, I'm going to say. More complementary. Where these are kind of contrasting and cutting so much at the same time. Like, I'm getting a lot more individual flavors. Now, I'm not going to sit here and, like, eat your whole sandwich, right? Like, If you
That
ate
killed for
meat, I
less.
would have said you take half, I'll take half, and then we both. But you get a carnivorous and you get a vegetarian, so it is what it is.
Here's what it is. Do the pickle with
It
that.
really highlights the pepper, though.
So much. Do you have any thoughts on what other beers would pair really well with this?
I think a lager would be great.
Okay.
I think not as exotic, right? Like this just has so many different flavors coming out. Classic lager.
Pairing sours with food.
Oh, truly my favorite as well.
Yeah. I'm tempted to go grab a dark lager because I think the roasty with this bread would be really fun. And the roasty with the artichokes.
For sure.
You also might laugh because we just got done making a video saying to not necessarily keep your beer in a pint glass out in the sunshine. The exception to that rule
Sours.
is a beer you're going to drink quickly.
Yeah, like time is of the essence. Like, don't let any good thing die on the vine.
Yeah.
So, did your expectations exceed the results, or
Good question.
was it complimentary?
I'm going exceeds. It's already a lighter sandwich for as far as sandwiches go, right? And the brightness of the beer and the acidity made it even brighter, which is really what I wanted.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like a somewhat warm day. Didn't want the heaviness, but I'm still like, ooh, bread.
If you don't like bread, good hello.
So it just kept making everything brighter, and I was super into that. I love what it did with the artichokes and the mayonnaise. So just like really popping the artichoke, cutting through the mayonnaise, to like finish up your bite. It's still in there. The mayonnaise is kind of the finishing flavor. Then to just boom, cut that out with the beer.
Yeah. I would say
How
that
about
I agree. I would say it exceeded. The sour ale definitely exceeded my expectations with the sandwich. It really highlighted the savory elements. Excuse me, and the seasoning. I'm with you with it kind of like mellowing out the mayonnaise, but like ending on that creamy note, but then the flavors just kind of cut away.
Yeah.
It made every bite really friggin' enjoyable.
Yeah.
Which is hard when you're hungry not to just
Inhale it.
take it down. But I really enjoy this pairing. Like, man, if it doesn't have to be backache or beer maker. Like, if you can find one, good luck. But just look for a sour golden ale. Those lighter fruit undertones, a little earthy, a little funky, bright, light mouthfeel, good effervescence. And like whatever your favorite sandwich is. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a mayonnaise person, right? If you just like mustard, that tang on the sour is going to be so good. And the mustard isn't super noticeable in here, but I always feel like when you combine, well, it just makes the mayo a little bit more tangy.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with that.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't super notice the tomato, the lettuce. The onion definitely brought out that earthiness.
Shredded lettuce, I feel like, has minimal flavor.
Yeah, it's just water. It's really just a body filler, right? It makes it fluffy. Although I love shredded lettuce for that, right? Like a Jersey Mike sandwich, I love that because they put so much freaking shredded lettuce.
I know.
Subway too, if you ask for it. But yeah, the seasoning, the earthiness, the oregano in the seasoning, hell yeah. Big, bold Italian factor in my mouth. The savory, the turkey.
Which I think the oregano really pops with the artichoke. So it's like really coming through for me. It's like a ton of oregano.
Yeah, I love their seasoning.
Yeah.
And not too salty, right? Like they held back on that, which I appreciate. Because there's enough salt and, you know, it's still deli meat, so there's going to be salt in there. There's going to be some salt in the bread and the cheese. And so. If you like salty, maybe go for a goose. That could be really interesting.
Fair.
To highlight it a little bit more.
Fair. Cool. Well, that's all. That's all I got. Is that all you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish
Well,
shoving this in my face.
yeah, pretend like I was eating slowly and just keep eating faster. So hopefully you enjoyed this Brews and Bites.
This is it. Our Brews and Bites evolved to the pair.
New Brews and Bites. Enjoy.